It's lights out and away we go!
What's up, guys and girls, and welcome back to the GT UK podcast. I'm joined by my co-host, David.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we all doing today?
Viva España.
Espagne, Barcelona, one of the perennial... This is one of the 4 tracks with the longest lifespan in Formula 1.
I'd say so.
I'm sure Crofty came out with some statistic at the beginning of the races he often likes to do.
Yeah. I mean, didn't see, like I said, didn't see... We'll make this note now. We didn't see FP1.
I saw a highlights reel of Quali, which actually didn't include what appears to be the main talking point of Quali, which is interesting, but...
Main talking point of Quali. Jogging
Well,
around.
whatever Gasly managed to do to piss off the stewards.
Was it not the impede? Was it impeding?
It was impeding Leclerc and Verstappen or something, wasn't it?
Yeah. Then, did you? I was waiting to find out. Did you actually find out what happened to Gunther? You might want
No.
You might be able to pull that up. Well, Gunther, to reiterate, Gunther ended up having to go see the stewards because of comments that he made about Monaco and Hulkenberg.
That's why they were going to sign a verdict after scathing steward criticism.
Did they give one?
Hang on,
Might as well get this out of the way first.
This is from the Planet F1 website, so...
Yeah.
Given a reprimand for his comments made during a press session on Friday. Broke a breach of Article 12.2.1.k, which mainly being the use of language which may reasonably be expected or perceived to cause offence, humiliation, or be inappropriate.
So, in other words, he slagged them off then. In true Gunther fashion. I mean, the guy is well liked, he's well known, he's very outspoken and very controversial.
Apparently he said we need a different system for stewards.
Do you blame him?
I know you have your opinions on the stewards and on...
I still need to actually download the sporting regs and actually sit and read them, just for the hell of it.
No, you don't. You have no trouble sleeping at the best of times.
Yeah, it might put me to sleep reading them. Might help.
God.
What is it? Is it nearly 1,000-page document or something?
I have no idea. I don't even want to know. Ignorance is bliss, and I'm damn happy.
I think it's about 1,000-page document, or close to. It's just... There's some reading for the plane.
Oh, you download it. God.
Oh, got...
Start on the beach and wherever you're going to be reading the sporting documents for Formula 1. What is it, an audiobook version?
Yeah. That'd do. But it's just... Yeah, but I kind of get where Gunther's coming from.
Apparently to do with Hulkenberg getting a penalty at Monaco when, generally speaking, first lap incidents are supposed to be overlooked a little bit.
Oh, is that when he... That was when he careened into the side of...
Just about everybody did during the course of that race.
I mean... So yeah, neither of us saw first practice 1, 2 or 3.
Unfortunately, it's very rare I'm ever going to catch practices because of my work hours and this, that and the other. Say qualifying, I tend to be a highlights reel because unless it's a particularly good time for me, I'm usually working Saturdays. Yeah. That's just the way it goes, unfortunately.
I mean, qualifying was was a bit of a mixed bag, like.
For most of the highlights, there was a lot of people struggling to keep it on the road,
Yep, Perez included.
Perez included. Or was
Along,
it De Vries who went off twice at the same corner?
yep. Alonso had trouble with his floor.
We should say well done to Stroll. The first time this season he's outqualified his teammate.
Poor Leclerc.
Yeah, what exactly sort of happened there? Just got it wrong on the strategy call, or
No, they were they weren't getting. He wasn't getting his grip from the rear of the car. Just wasn't just wasn't any mechanical grip on him. I mean, both him and Sargent started the race from the pit lane.
Well, they changed pretty much the entire back end of his car, didn't they, to try and
Yeah.
rebalance it, which based on the race performance, I don't think made a massive difference.
No. I mean, like I say, qualifying was a very, very, very mixed bag.
It shows, doesn't it? We're at a good stage in F1 now, where the midfield teams are a lot closer to the front guys than they were a couple of years ago. To the point where if the front guys don't have a solid session,
Mm.
they're getting swamped.
I mean, you got. It was just a bit weird. I mean, where are we qualifying? You know, you had the like Powen, like you had the likes of Norris up there.
You know he's going to third in a great performance, then undid it all at the first corner.
Just a bit, yeah. You know, you had Gasly up there until
Mm.
until the stewards. You know, Hamilton, Stroll, Ocon, Hulkenberg, Alonso, like was P9. It's all he could manage, which was a kind of a shame because that Aston looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Perez getting no, Perez got knocked out in Q2
Mm.
because he balls it up. I mean, what did you make of this? What do you think of the changes to Spain?
It didn't seem to make that. All he's done is made the last corner faster in my book.
Yeah, but the configuration they've gone back to now was a configuration they had previously.
Yeah, they've not redesigned the track. They're just using because that bit of road they're using has always been there.
Mm.
But
Just
I don't know. It gave him a good drive off the last corner.
did anybody even take it flat?
They reckon someone managed it in Wally, didn't they?
Max, I think. Or did he lift a little? Somebody was pushing it. I mean, yeah, Leclerc out in Q1 with a 114. There was just nothing there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, poor Bottas got out qualified by his teammate.
Joe.
Yeah, Guan Yu Zhou. I mean, I like Bottas. He's just don't seem to have anything under him that's.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if the Alpha's not quite as good this year as it was last year, or if it's a case of what I said in the past, which is that they've not made the same leap forward that say some other teams around them have.
Mm,
I mean, I think we've all been blindsided by this Aston Martin coming from being what was possibly the slowest car last year to second stroke third fastest. I mean, this race coming, it looked like Mercedes were very much the second fastest car. the PS gluing side pods back to that does
Yeah.
affect.
I mean,
Which,
another thing, Leclerc was on an older package as well, which was
mm,
weird because it was Leclerc seemed to have a quicker package at one point, but then Sainz just switched it
it
on.
seems, and also you don't know what they changed on Leclerc's car. I think they were kind of a little bit blind on whether it actually made a positive difference.
Mm. Uh, let's see what
Mm.
the latest news is. Just wanted to see if it said anything.
Yeah, this is the issue because we're doing this the night of the race. We don't know. There was no post-race.
There was
Um,
no penalties.
Verstappen was close.
Track limits.
Yeah. Was it
See, why
Yuki
did?
got a? Was
Yeah,
it Yuki got a 5 second for something?
yeah, he basically that's during the race. Guan Yu Zhou
Mm,
um was in front. Yuki basically pushed him off.
yeah.
So that was that. That's why he got that 5 second penalty. No, I know it wasn't that. I was just trying to see if there was. I want to see if it said out about what they did to Leclerc's car. If I go into the Ferrari section,
Mm.
because he changed in Parc Ferme. That's what it was.
From what the commentator said, it sounded like they changed a lot.
Uh, Following investigation, what happened on Saturday, Ferrari decided to make changes to his suspension, and they also replaced his car with a new energy store and new control electronics and a new gearbox.
Well, let's be honest, they've hit that point like me and you've done in the game before today.
Yeah.
If you're pulling it out and going to the back anyway,
Mm,
sorry, put the whole lot in.
yeah. So that's what they basically they'd done. Yeah, that's what I just want to find that out because I wasn't overly sure and I didn't want to say anything without obviously fact checking
Yeah.
as we like to do. So going into the race, I was thinking, oh, this is could be Aston Martin's possibly.
Well, to be honest with you, that kind of died after qualifying, didn't it? Because Alonso I think Alonso just had a bad strategy call.
Well, apart
And
from that, and he had that issue with his floor during qualifying, so.
yeah, I think we'd gone into this weekend thinking Aston stood a chance, but I think quali sort of put paid to that a little bit.
Mm,
You know, I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it. Could see there being an Aston win by the end of this year, but it's gonna take some funny business.
it's
It's gonna take like some red flags or a couple of cars tripping over each other. But Aston, I mean, I think I'm right in saying that after this race, actually, Mercedes have jumped Aston Martin in the constructors.
I should check that one now.
I'm just checking now.
Yes, they have.
Yes, they have.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Aston's still a very good package, and so I can see it.
I mean, they're only 34 points clear of Ferrari at this point.
Mm.
I mean, they can still catch still catch Mercedes.
Good old Mercedes.
They can still catch them. It's not over.
I'm doing the podcast with a former James Bond here. Oh, Roger Moore, ladies and gentlemen.
More like a Sean Connery. But yeah,
we've got a 2 week break to Canada. Yeah, not a single
yeah,
week.
we've got a 2 week break. Bloody hell. 2
You won't believe this guy picks a career which is talking for a living, would you, folks?
No. A 2-week break for Canada, which, interestingly enough, obviously I'll catch up with quali because
Mm.
I'll have to catch up with that, but then I will see the race and then we'll be back to it on the 19th.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, looking forward to Canada. See if anybody hits the wall of champions.
See if he's willing to do me and literally drive the tyres off.
Yeah. I was hoping that the weather was gonna, because they kept saying.
Honestly, yeah. And then George Russell thought he saw rain.
No, it's just a sweat on the inside, just a sweat on your inside
Well,
of
the
your
inside of his
visor.
helmet. Yeah, like, what?
Oh.
That's one I've never heard before.
No. Because, well, what he said after the race was his hair had come past his balaclava, so it was basically flicking against the inside of his visor. I mean, okay, you know.
George was the emo driving the car today, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, fair play to Merck. Double podium.
Yeah, I must admit, I'll say now, I actually gave Russell driver of the day. He had that little funny business at the beginning, which I'm still not sure how he got away with that penalty, because to me, he left the track and gained advantage.
Yeah.
But, he got from, was he 12th he'd qualified to 3rd?
Starting grid. He was 12th, yes.
Perez did 11th to 4th, which isn't bad going either.
Nope. Hamilton did from 4th to 3rd.
Yeah.
Or,
Max
no,
just
4th,
stayed
4th,
where he was.
sorry, 4th to 2nd.
Max just stayed where he was.
Yeah. The Red Bull's just is on another planet.
It's a different level. We're seeing now what we saw a la the first couple of years of Mercedes dominance.
Yeah.
And it's quite funny listening to all the Merc fans complaining when we all spent years. I mean, I'm not the biggest Red Bull fan, but it's been nice to have a change. Don't get me wrong, I'd love nothing more than for Merc, Ferrari, and Aston Martin all to be right on top of each other, taking a fight to them.
Yeah.
But to me, and this is where, if the Red Bull is 100% within regulations, which as far as I'm aware it is, then it's up to the teams to catch up. I don't like this whole we should slow somebody down. If they happen to have read the regulations well, don't penalise them for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, okay, they've lost a bit of wind tunnel time this year due to this cost cut.
And they'll lose even more when did he say it's about this month when he does the reset?
I'm not sure.
Because they said that's when Aston Martin are going to lose a lot of their advantage. Because Aston Martin were like the last team last year, weren't they? So had like maximum of everything. Obviously, when he resets, which I'm sure was in June. Just checking. Give me a second.
I'm doing the quick same. Sorry, guys.
It's how to word that one. June 25th it resets.
What, is that both wind tunnel and CDF time?
Looks like it, yeah. Because as it stood at the moment, Red Bull hours in wind tunnel had 756, whereas Aston Martin had 1200.
Will remain in force until the end of the 25th week of the 2023, i.e. until 25th of June.
Yeah, that's what I've got in front of me here. Off ScuderiaFans.com.
Yeah, that's where I am as well. So, Aston Martin, bloody hell. They've had over 1,200 hours in the wind tunnel.
Yeah,
I mean, AlphaTauri and Williams have had the most.
yeah. I think he's Aston Martin as well at the same time by just bringing that brand new centre online, aren't they? With their own wind tunnel and everything.
But they've only had wind on time hours. So is that... That's weird. Hours on wind below each team from the 1st of January till the 25th of June. So Red Bull have only got... Have they only had 151 hours?
Could be, yeah.
Or is that how much is remaining?
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know because I swear I'm not clever enough. But
Compared to Red Bull, Mercedes will have an advantage of 163 tests that can be carried out, 204 more hours of wind tunnel occupation, and 41 hours more of wind on time until the 25th of June. So, four more hours of wind tunnel occupation and 41 more hours of wind. So by the sounds of this, these figures on that end figure is what they have spent currently, I'm guessing. So Red Bull have actually spent the less because they've had to, because of that punishment that they received. So yeah, Mercedes have got an advantage on it, and Aston Martin probably will lose out, but
well, they won't lose out as much as Mercedes in theory, based on the numbers I'm seeing there.
no, but Mercedes have the advantage over the Red Bull. Because obviously Red Bull lost it last time. Yeah, okay. So, if that's the case of the reset, then...
I mean, I don't know the exact numbers around the reset or anything. You'd have to...
So Red Bull, technically Red Bull will only have 50.4 hours with the tunnel operating at 54 kilometers per hour. That development time having to be completed in less than 202 runs. So, yeah. So Red Bull possibly might be on the back foot at the end of the season. But who knows
Yeah,
what's
but I
going
have a
on.
feeling by the time that comes in and bites them, they're going to have the championship sewn up. Or they're going to be that far ahead that it's going to take an absolute miracle for it to be really turned around.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong, but just if they keep going the way they're going, they could have the season wrapped by the freaking halfway mark.
I mean, I don't know if it's true, but not yet, but where could they wrap it up then, do you reckon?
I'd have to start doing maths because I don't honestly know. I don't know at what point they could hit a situation
I mean,
where basically it's at a point where nobody else can mathematically catch them.
well, how many
Now, don't
races
forget,
we got?
22, 22, 21 we're down to. 21 we're down to
We've had
now.
21. Just try and half 21.
Well, that's easy. That's 10 and a half. But no, it's not that simple.
No, I know it's not. technically, if I was to predict, he could either, if they carry on the way they're going, they could either wrap it up by Italy, which I doubt, or
I mean, look at it this way. There's 525 points for first places available.
mm,
That's not including fastest laps, seconds, thirds,
oh,
etc.
both. We've got sprints, though, haven't we?
Yeah, so it's honestly,
Let's say Japan, then. There's a possibility. Japan
anyway, yeah, Japan to the
Japan
United
onwards.
States.
Yeah.
There's a good chance in that gap if they've continued to dominate the way they have been.
Mm.
Or we could hit the point where it's only Perez and Verstappen who really stand a chance.
Yeah. Because if you think about it, there's just... I know we've kind of deviating here, but there wasn't a lot to talk about in Spain. Really wasn't.
Yeah, unfortunately. Say there was Russell going wild. Quite a lot of overtakes. The first corner seems to be throwing some good overtaking.
Yeah.
Say there was Norris's attempting to drive through Hamilton on the start. Actually, to be fair, it was because I think it was Sainz braked, Hamilton braked, and Norris just didn't. And kind of
Yeah.
undid all that hard work he'd done in qualifying.
It kind of didn't work. Damaged his front end plate, and he carried it with him all the way back, I think.
But then again, we had no yellow flags, did we?
No.
No yellows, no safety cars. Verstappen got to a black and white for track limits.
Yeah.
I love that conversation with him and his race engineer. What's the fastest lap? It doesn't matter. You're on a black and white. Next thing, Verstappen, fastest lap. And you got all right, now keep it between the white lines, okay?
Yeah. Bring it home, but keep it in the white lines.
Yeah, he just made that extra point.
I don't blame him.
No, I don't.
It's just...
Hey, you've seen me do it in F122 well for a set of softs on you. It's funny, I was talking at the time, I think it was when the Mercs pitted, I said I was watching it with Michelle, I said, right, Verstappen should pit now. And he's 39 seconds clear. Put a set of softs on him for he grab fastest lap. He's going to come out in front, assuming, they don't totally botch the pit stop, which, let's be honest, it's unlikely from Red Bull.
Mm.
And then I think Crofty and Runner between round off exactly what I just said. It's like I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, we do know what we're talking about.
Yeah, Verstappen was 40 seconds clear. Yes, the hards could have got him to the end, but when everyone else behind you's pitted, you might as well throw a set of softs on. And as I think was it Ant said, it was seen off, say there'd been a safety car late on.
Mm.
Max wasn't going to want a massive tyre disadvantage.
No.
I'm not sure I fully agree with driver of the day to Hamilton either, but... Yeah, I think if anything, Russell. I voted Russell, which pained me to vote for a Merc anyway. But...
Yeah, but we like George.
Yeah. Oh, and he probably the best between him and Perez because they both basically did the same thing.
Yeah.
But it was slightly more impressive to me because the Merc isn't as rounded a package as the Red Bull is. So.
I mean, fair. I mean, Nick De Vries and Logan Sargent still haven't scored a point yet.
They're going for the Deadly Dark Sheep Award.
At least they've scored points. Logan Sargent, okay, he's a rookie, but he needs to step up if he wants to keep it. I mean, fair play, De Vries, yeah, he finished 14th, but the Alpha Tower is just not there.
Yeah, it's a little bit of nowhere this season, isn't it?
Fair play to Gasly for getting a point.
Oh yeah, despite getting absolutely rinsed by the stewards at the start.
And yeah, we didn't actually have any retirees either.
No, reliability this year has been one thing to me. Has been really impressive. I know it's early on in the season yet and there's time, but you seem to have been doing really well for cars just not breaking.
Wait till we get back to Silverstone.
Aye.
Something's gonna happen there. Let it piss it down for Silverstone, but not enough
Aye.
so they don't race.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the risk, and you got to balance it.
Yeah, let's not have a spa of sitting around for friggin' 3 hours for doing nothing. Because it was Spa, wasn't it, where they had that
Mm,
washout that time, and that's where they brought that half-point bollocks in.
yeah.
But to be fair, when I voted for Driver of the Day, I actually give it to Sainz.
Fair enough. Yeah, I can see why. It's just I don't think the car was fully under him today.
No, it was my vote was going to be originally between Sainz and Stroll. I know that
Yeah.
sounds weird because usually I've been singing Alonso's praises,
Mm,
but yeah, it just wasn't. This is the problem. They seem to they hype shit up too much, and it just then becomes dull.
mm.
And to be honest, we've had a good few races.
Yeah, Spain seems like the familiar one is where a lot of them did testing and that, so
Mm,
they
but
get
yet,
to really know him.
we've had not good racing at all. I mean,
Yeah.
Canada could be very interesting.
Oh yeah,
Don't,
can
don't get me wrong. Canada could be a good one. Austria is probably going to be maybe a Red Bull dominance. This is me just chucking that one out there. Silverstone, hoping for a good one. Hungary, maybe. Spa, safety car chance. Zandvoort, possibly max dominance. Home Grand Prix.
mm,
Monza is an unknown, really. Singapore could be an interesting one. See how many people chuck it at walls and stuff like that. Japan, well, long as it doesn't monsoon again. Well, no, you kind of want it to rain, but you don't want a repeat of last year.
mm.
You definitely don't want a repeat of last year and that incident with that tractor or whatever the hell it was.
Oh yeah.
Qatar, not sure about. That's a bit unknown. Have we raced at Lusail before?
Maybe many years ago, but
Did we? Was it not a filler?
I honestly can't remember, mate. To be honest with you.
I thought that was a filler at some point. I mean, then we've got Quarter, which, well, who knows? Mexico, to be honest, I'd like to see Perez win.
But yeah, see, he's been close a couple of times. He's had a couple of podiums now, but
Brazil, possibly I could see Merck being quite dominant. I mean, look at last year.
yeah.
Now, then we'll get onto the shit show that's Vegas. Because you know that's going to be hyped to shit.
I know, but I think it's a good chance of it being a lot of fun as well.
As long as they don't do anything cringe-worthy like they did at Miami.
Hmm.
Because that, I Did you see the driver and did you see the driver introductions and stuff like that?
No, I didn't see any of that.
No.
Like, I was
God,
going
that
for the. It
was cringe.
was actually a rarity. I caught the grid walk today because I jumped off the touring cars.
Anything good happen on the grid walk? Because I didn't see it.
Not really. I think he's interviewing a random person. I think was just literally wasn't anybody famous at all. But
Mm.
no, not spectacular.
And then the 24th to the 26th November, Abu
Well, at
Dhabi.
the end, aye.
And that's going to be a bit of a. Is that going to be a Red Bull dominance or what? We won't know. Like I said, Vegas is Vegas is going to be an unknown. I mean, we'll get to
We'll hopefully get to have a look at it at the end of the month.
drive that before they do.
Hmm.
When's apart after Canada? When's the next one? 30th to the 30th to the 2nd.
Yeah, so it's like 2 weeks. We've had our little run of massive,
Yeah.
everything close together.
See, we could do Vegas and LaSalle on 26th of June.
Hopefully.
Well, that's what I want to. That's the plan I've got down for at the minute. But yeah, no. I suppose we should do one other thing before we round this one out.
It's a nice little fantasy league.
1 second, sorry about anybody that's on the watching the video side of things. Wow.
I feel like I've really closed the gap on you.
You're about
sure we were that.
You've closed it, but you're about 200 down. Wow. Actually, how much did you get for this race then?
I won it by the looks of it.
So you got 246 for
I
this.
got no negatives. This one kind of really worked in my favour.
Did I get any negs? No, I didn't get any negatives either. Yeah, I got 208.
You still only finished 4th.
Can't remember how we do that. How do we do that? Oh yeah, it's just
it says all races
Spanish,
changed,
isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I didn't have a good race for this one though, did I?
No.
I mean, Alan beat me there. I think that was my driver lineup for that one. But in general, overall, yeah, you're about
159 points.
What, behind?
Yeah.
So you still time to catch me.
Oh, if we're scoring, I mean, if I look at the average the last few races, I've scored 246, 115, 258, 367. So, that 159 point gap can be made up in one race if things really go in my favour.
If.
I said the if, don't worry.
It's a big if, but I hope not, because that will annoy me.
I'll enjoy it.
Oh, I know you will, because you do every single time you're ahead. Yeah, but considering you only scored 100 points for Bahrain. And then you only got... Oh, no, you clawed that back. You got 211 Saudi.
Yeah, but you still won Saudi 350.
Yeah, 349, but yeah.
Bahrain, none of us did particularly well.
First race.
Yeah. I lost. And then I lost another gap to you at Australia. I then won Azerbaijan by over 100 points.
Oh, yeah,
Miami.
You only got 197 at Australia.
Yeah, but then look at Azerbaijan.
Oof. Yeah, you clawed most back there, didn't you?
I think my 2 times was on Perez. One is I think he scored more on his own than I think some of.
And then there was only What? Then obviously Miami was what? You were 258 and I was 241 on that, and Alan got
Mm,
that one.
yeah. So it's very up and down. It's very, we've not got a clear running away with it.
And then Monaco, you had a real crapper.
Mm. Well, a lot of my eggs are in the Perez basket, aren't they?
115 you had, and I had 192, and Alan got that one.
You know, basically most of my Perez is like my lead.
So yeah, and then yeah, you just don't know what it was. Yeah, I don't have Perez, do I? I have. I think that's what let me down. If Alonso would have got higher today, that'd have done good. That'd have done good for me because he was my two
Mm.
times. I will
Yeah.
be sorting that out before Canada. But yeah.
Do you want to say now? Do you want to throw down a few predictions for Canada?
In terms of what? Winning or just quali?
Just in general, just something you think will happen.
I'd like to. Well, I'd like to see it rain. Because that always provides interesting results. I'd like to see somebody have a brush with the Wall of Champions. As long as
But
it's
you're not
not
specifying
Max.
who.
Um, I'd like to say Max win. Uh, I'd like to see Alonso come second, but that's not going to happen. Possibly. I'd like to see Norris in third, get up there, but
Mm.
who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Go on then. You can chuck yours out.
Me? How do I? I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say a Merc's gonna get on the podium again 'cause I think they're finally getting more issues. I'm gonna say a Merc and an Aston Martin on the podium.
With
I'm not going any more specific than that.
we've only got two for the podium. Where's your third?
Oh, third's gonna be Max.
I was gonna say.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant like to specify which cars,
No, no,
which
no.
drivers. I know. I think Max. I think right now the only thing that's gonna take Max down is unreliability.
Or maybe loss of control due to bad weather.
Trouble is we've seen his talent in bad weather. You know, I think the other thing
What,
that he
Monaco?
well Brazil the other year.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that. So I honestly think, and I know I'm putting Perez out when I say that, but I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure. I want to see I want to see the Astons continue to do well and continue to put the fight to Merck for
Mm,
second.
yeah.
Basically, is what I'm.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to close out with?
No, I think that's all. Just thank you to everyone listening. We were going through some figures. We're doing really well on the downloads through the likes of Spotify and others. And thank you all who are
Spotify,
listening to us,
Amazon, obviously Samsung podcast you can listen to.
as well as obviously our loyal following on YouTube.
There's a YouTube and yeah,
Thank you all. You all mean the world to us.
it is very much appreciated. It is. And don't forget that this obviously episode will be out on the 10th, and then the next one after that will be recorded back on our usual Monday slot
Yeah.
after the race, the day after. Well, we can't. There's no point doing it on the Sunday. I'll be bushed a little
Aye.
bit. But yeah, so thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Don't forget you can support the channel. Links are in the description. And thank you to David again for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
And we shall see you next time. So until then,
So long, and thanks for all the fish.
goodbye for now.